Hey, do you know why people blame in a relationship? Why does blaming go on in a relationship? I'm Foxy, this is,
Robert.
we're from Love Life Matters, and today we're fighting the frog in my throat and also the beautiful bush that we're in with the cicadas and noises going on and mozzies. But
There's mozzies, lots of
I-
mozzies.
I
It's
could-
humid.
I
It's
could
very
blame
humid.
Robert for all of that, but anyway. So what I find is blaming in a relationship is people don't even know that they're doing it because they feel that it's the other person. If only the other person will change, then my life will be amazing. So this is what we often find with couples when they come in for counselling is they can't see that fact. So what's your take on it, Robert?
Yeah, well, I would call that they're unconscious to what they're doing, the pattern that happens. This is like in an intimate love relationship, but it can be with your children, it can be with a friend. But we're here to tell you about intimate love relationships. So, what's the purpose of blaming? Even if you're not aware of what you're doing, it's probably to do with power. However, that's a false power. It doesn't work, but it gives a sense of power coming up, but it's not authentic. So what really happens is that person that's blaming is actually deflecting or actually not acknowledging what is really going on for them, right? How are they feeling? What's really going on inside of them around that? And there's many different ways to blame. And another word for blaming is projection. So it's interesting that we think of that when we blame, we just need to know that when we blame, there's a metaphor of pointing a finger, right? Pointing a finger. And when we point a finger in blaming, how many, yes, thanks Foxy, I'll put it in your ear. How many fingers are coming back to you? In a sense, metaphorically, that's how many. If you're blaming someone there with one finger, you need to look at yourself 3 times more. Come back to yourself.
So to put that into perspective, like to an example,
Yeah.
is if I say to Robert, oh, you don't love me, then that is just a projection of how I'm feeling, down in myself, not feeling good about myself, just maybe being angry with myself, but I will deflect that and put it out onto my partner. So that can be an example.
Yeah, that's one way. Or another way is Foxy, you make me feel angry. You make me feel sad. Right? That's another way of doing it. And it's like, so there again, it gives me this false sense of power because I'm dumping it all on Foxy when I say that. These mozzies are getting to me. And so what it is that we need to know, first of all, we need to recognize when we're doing it. Then we need to come back to what's going on for ourselves. Because in anything around change in relationships is to do with, starts with ourselves. Right? So blaming, John Gottman calls them the 4 horsemen. We call them, there's 4 types of blaming. That's criticism, there's put downs, defensiveness, and the silent treatment. I can put my hand up for every one of them every now and then when I do them, when I'm not aware of that or what's going on for me. And I don't want to know what's going on for me. And emotional stuff comes up, and then all I want to do is go boom. I want to get Foxy. It's all her fault. So that's how I see it.
Yeah. So an example of criticism could be, for example, Robert hasn't picked up his socks off the floor. And
not the socks again.
I love this. It's just like, why does he keep leaving the socks? It's just, I just get so mad, like I see the socks there and I'm just going, he's just untidy, he's unkept, and I'm thinking these things in my head. It's not really, but I'm just giving you an example. I don't really care if the socks are on the floor. But It's just that thinking, oh, if only they did something differently. And it's like putting them down, and even just a mantra that's going through your head. That is just an attitude, a projection that you're putting on your partner. The same thing as put downs. What would a put down be?
Oh, I did this about 3 months with Foxy. 3 months ago, I mean. And it was like there was something going on, and I was feeling frustrated and a bit confused. And I walked into an office, and I said something like, well, you know, you that's something from your past, and you better deal with that, or something. Like, I said something like that. But and even if it's true, it's like I was deflecting, I was blaming her for actually how I was feeling. And then I went back into my office, and I'm sitting there, and then 2 minutes later I went, oh, I just put Foxy down. So I walked back in and I apologised. And I said that was because I was feeling frustrated and annoyed and around something, and I just projected or blamed Foxy for it, and I put her down.
So another one is silent treatment. I remember doing this in the past relationship. Is like I would just get moody and just go, okay, I'm not talking to my partner anymore, and I would just go off on a huff, and I would just make sure they knew that I was angry, but I wouldn't say anything. It was just like I'd just go about whatever I was doing, and then not speaking about what was going on for me.
Yep. And look, what's behind silent treatment is far, far more than just being silent. And I know this one well from my past, being quite passive-aggressive in relationships in my past. The silent treatment really was, it's like stuff you, or in a sense, F you. Like, that's what's behind silent treatment. Trying to control the other person by being silent, withdrawing from the relationship, whether that's geographically, practically withdrawing, or withdrawing by not saying anything. That's what's behind that.
And the next one is defensiveness, is defending what's going on. So what's a perfect example of that?
What you do to me sometimes.
Oh, do I?
Yes.
I don't do that at all.
So defensiveness is when we don't actually own what's going on for us at that moment, and then we change it, or we take it out of the context of where it is in whatever's going on. So if it's whatever's going on for Foxy and I, take it out of the context of just there, and next minute I or Foxy can go get this defensive sort of attitude about myself, which is partly about being righteous, and defend myself instead of actually owning what's going on. And all that could be going on is I could be feeling scared. Simple as that. I could be feeling anxious, and yet I want to defend that, so I'm going to say, no, that's wrong what you just said. I don't agree with you. And so forth. That's one way.
But I don't do that.
Oh.
Not at all.
Oh, no. Not at all.
I'm never defensive, no.
You don't do it at all when you're aware of it. And we both do it when we're not aware of that pattern that comes up. Yeah.
So we would love to know your thoughts on this video. Comment below. Have you noticed these things happening in your relationship? You may or may not want to admit it, but so send us a message and let us know if you're needing any help in this area.
Yeah. And look, just quickly, a really good way of admitting or acknowledging what's going on for yourself in the way of blaming is to journal it. That just means you don't even have to tell your partner. You don't have to tell anybody else. Journal it. Be honest and raw and authentic with yourself around what you do about blaming, and whether you try and control, which is a false sense, or whether you're deflecting from actually how you're feeling inside. So give it a try and let us know how it goes.
I'm Foxy, and this is
Robert
from Love Life Matters.